video is brought to you by Luminar Neo. Use the code DH10 for 10% off your first purchase. So welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the desk. It has been a good minute since I've stood here and made a video with all of your beautiful faces. We've been out and about a lot. I've been sitting back here the last few videos as well, just, changing it up a little bit. But I'm here today at the desk because I need the computer. And why do I need the computer? Because today we are talking about editing. Specifically, editing with an app called Luminar Neo. Now, I'll be straight up with you guys. When Luminar reached out, I raised my eyebrow a little bit because my whole world is color grades. Like, I live in that world. I run a shop that is all about color grades. I am very loyal to my workflow, to my editing process, and obviously to providing a life for my family, which come from color grades. So when Luminar reached out, I was like, okay, they're reaching out to me to potentially try to disrupt what I currently do. Now, if we're gonna talk about disruption, there are two questions that I gotta have answered if I'm gonna completely, reconfigure my life around some new software. And these questions are questions we can both ask today. And the first question is, can Luminar replace my current editor? Because if it has a limited amount of tools and it could not replace my current editor, then I can't go in that direction. I need the tools. I need all the tools. The second question kind of piggybacks off the first, but can go in two different directions. And that question is, can Luminar sidecar my current editor? Meaning that if I'm currently happily living in a world with another editor, can Luminar come alongside that editor and provide some value for things that I currently can't do in my other editor that I could only do in Luminar, and those things be valuable enough that I would include Luminar in my workflow? So armed with those two questions in mind, I downloaded the software and I dove in. My first impression of this app is that it is incredibly feature rich. Now, I've got a set of images here from the Eastern Sierras, and if I click on this first one and I just look at the tools that are available, my God, there are a lot. They're broken into categories like image quality, essentials, landscape, creative, portrait, and professional. My first eyebrow raise were at these categories, specifically professional, like super contrast, color harmony, dodge and burn, clone. They're under the professional tab. Now, here's the thing about features. There are a lot of features and tools in Luminar. Every photo needs the tools to be able to accomplish the vision. So if you got a vision for your photo, you really need the tools to get you there. But not every photo needs every tool. I feel like Luminar is kind of like, if you can dream it, there's a tool in here that'll get you to it. And just straight up with you, there are many tools in here that I'm just not gonna use. Things like in the landscape category, like sun rays. I'm never gonna do this. And at first glance, that was a little off-putting because I'm seeing things in here that I'm just never going to use. And I'm seeing this little AI icon beside a lot of things. And look, I get that that's the hot phrase, the hot word, the trend, all the things AI right now. But if you are anything like me and you download software and you're seriously considering it for your workflow and you're met with things like sun rays and a bunch of AI logos, you might feel just a little, get the eyebrow up. You might feel a little off by that. And as I'm considering that first question, can Luminar replace my editor? I've got to be sure that this thing can powerfully handle raw files. So the first thing I did was I went over to the Essentials tab because that has stuff that you're gonna know no matter what platform you come from. Things like exposure and contrast and highlights and shadows and the black point and the white point and your curves and your RGB channels. Things like your white balance and your tint, saturation and vibrance. Also in the Essentials tab is color. And down here you get into your HSL. Now these are all things that I'm already familiar with, I'm comfortable using, and no matter what platform you are coming over from, no matter whether you edit in Adobe software or Capture One or Visco or literally anything else, this is a language you already are going to know. And it's only in the one category. I'm only in the Essentials category. So rather than take you on a journey now for 40 minutes to an hour of how I did what I did, let me just show you the end result. Because I mentioned earlier that I live in the world of color grading, and I took our best-selling color grade from Very Good, which is Very Good Presets Portra 400, and I recreated it in Luminar. So if I click this preset tab, there it is, VGP Portra 400. I click it, and there it is. So here's another eyebrow raise because I think this actually looks more like Portra than the version that I use in my everyday app. I'm almost embarrassed to say that. It's looking good. And this moment, whenever I got this preset created to match the Lightroom and Capture One counterparts, I was pretty shook to my core. Just to show you exactly what I mean, here it is in Luminar, and here it is in Lightroom. So here's Luminar again, and here's Lightroom. Now, it's possible I made this preset better here in 2026 than I made the initial preset for Lightroom in 2023. But honestly, like, I shoot a lot of Portra, and I know what it looks like, and I feel like this is definitely a little nod to it. Before I go any further and show you how I made this under the hood, let me just show you how it looks on a couple of other photos. Like, take this one, for example. This had me shook to my core. Look at this. It looks like Portra 400. Eyebrows going up. And now let's take a look at this one. I mean, does this not look amazing? Like, I am so pleased. Like, this is mostly done in essentials, but there's a few things happening that actually add a ton to this photo. I'll show it to you. So we're coming back over here to the edit tab. We're in our tools category. And the first thing I need to do just real quick is get rid of this sensor spot right here. It is driving me absolutely insane. I'm going to click that. I'm just going to tell it to erase. Now that the sensor spot is out of my life, and unfortunately we're going to see it again, but it's out of my life for the moment, let's take a look at the things that I've done in here. I started with the develop category, and the second I click this, that sensor spot is going to come back because it's going to switch to only showing me what I'm working with in the moment. So I click this, and now everything is removed except for the things I did in develop. Like, here's before I use develop and here's after I use develop. But within here, I was able to make light adjustments and contrast, whites and blacks, curve, tweak the RGB curves, set my white balance to daylight and make some adjustments there. That's all stuff that you're gonna be familiar with, and it's powerful in Luminar. Now, continuing on, when I click color, it's going to open up all of my color adjustments, which you can see as I hide it, what I've done here. Inside of color, I've made some adjustments to the HSL. Again, all things you know. Where things really got fun in making this preset was in structure, glow, and mystical. Because I don't really know what mystical means, but it's pretty awesome. Let's start with structure though. When I click structure, I'm using this very subtly, but let me show you what it does. When I add structure, things get a little punchier. When I remove structure, things get a little softer. When I did glow, you can really see the highlights glow. And it's like highlights that are glowing here. It's not like the whole photo. It's really like the highlights that are glowing. And if there's an engineer watching from Luminar and I'm wrong, it's just my observation. But it feels like it's a highlight glow. I like it. I put it at 25. That's without it, and that's with it. You can see it's subtle, but it adds just a little bit of that hazy look. Now this mystical, I can't get over the name. This mystical slider here, let me show you what it does. As I crank it, things just look like super dreamy, as if I'm using like a very vintage lens. There's something cool about it though, you know, subtly, like just using a little bit to soften those midtones. And I think glow might be highlights and now mystical might be the midtones. Whatever it is, I'm here for it. I like it. If I toggle it on and off, there's on, you can see just how subtle it is. And when you combine all these things, the things you know, and these like new things, you get this really filmic looking shot. Like, I am super impressed with this. So that first question, can Luminar replace your editor? I think I have proven now that it can, purely because it can do all of the things I need it to do. Remember, every photo needs the tools for your vision. So for my vision, this actually does everything I need it to do to be a full-fledged editor without anything else. But being the elder millennial that I am, who is deeply entrenched in Lightroom, let me ask that second question again. Can a program like Luminar sidecar your current editor? So let's take a look. I'm gonna switch over to Lightroom and pull up a photo that I've edited with this same color grade, just the Lightroom version of it. And I'm gonna come over here and right-click on the photo and go to Edit in Luminar Neo. It's going to give me a pop-up just quickly explaining to me that I make my edits, I save my changes, and come back to Lightroom. So let's open in Luminar Neo. Once it's opened in Luminar Neo, I'm gonna click over here to Edit. Now we're gonna see how this app sidecars your current edit. And I'm gonna use those same things I was feeling before. Now let's come up here now and take a look at structure. So if I add structure, I'm adding some punch and clarity. If I remove structure, you can see it looks almost like someone wiped Vaseline across it, which it's not a bad thing. I mean, that's actually a film effect, but I'm gonna add a little structure just like I did before. It may be subtle, but just keep watching. Now the big one, mystical. You might be thinking, is that really all that different? This is where this little tool comes in here, because I'm gonna do a before and after. On the left is the Lightroom export, and on the right is what I've done here in Luminar. I thought before in Lightroom, as I applied all my edits and got this where I wanted it, that it was good and ready to go and be exported. But now that I wipe it over here and I see what I've added in Luminar, man, I mean, I think I like it way better. I mean, I know I like it better. There's something about it that feels punchier, it feels grittier, it feels honestly more like how I want to edit to begin with. So now that I'm here and done, let's send it back to Lightroom. And we've imported now from Luminar Neo. It has stacked it here, you can see, but we can come in here and unstack it if we want. And now we've got them side by side, our Luminar edit and our original Lightroom edit. I just can't get over how good it looks coming out of Luminar. This ability to sidecar Luminar and make changes to what you currently have and what you've already dialed in your other software is pretty amazing. And honestly, like any app you use, you can just export a TIFF over to Luminar, export it back out as a TIFF, and get back to work. That's what essentially has happened here in Lightroom. It has taken a TIFF into Luminar and brought a TIFF back in. Now, real talk. Am I going to abandon Lightroom and switch to Luminar as my standalone editor? No, I'm not, because I'm deeply entrenched in this system. I run my company on Lightroom and Capture One. Like, that's my world. But will Luminar become a sidecar to Lightroom? Yeah, 100%. So it really comes down to the question you're going to ask yourself. Could you see Luminar being a standalone app for you, or could you see it being something that sidecars what you're currently doing? Now, the pricing might be what makes that determination for you, because when you look at the pricing of like annual subscriptions and ongoing expenses for having software like Lightroom or Capture One, and then you compare it to Luminar's Perpetual licenses, this app starts to look really freaking good. Now, what you're seeing here is a current sale price. It might be totally different when you watch this video. Even if it is, I have a discount code for you. I'm gonna drop it right here on the screen and also right below, and that'll give you a sweet little discount if you wanna try Luminar yourself. Now, you can use the desktop version, you can use the mobile version. All of that stuff is gonna sync up for you between the two, which is really cool, and that might add some value to you as well. You can use it as a sidecar, you can use it standalone. However you wanna use it, just ask yourself, like, is this price point worth what it can add to my photography? Lots of eyebrow raising as I got into this app, almost all of it surprisingly good. I should also probably add that if you wanna get that Portra 400 preset that I made for Luminar, it's at the shop right below. Be sure to check it out. Now, I'm never gonna try to sell you something that I'm not gonna use myself. Pretty dedicated to using Luminar. I'll probably be taking that mystical slider up more on the next batch. What a weird name, but my God, it's cool.